No, I've just gotten to the point where she's transformed into a unicorn. That's about the halfway point.
Okay.
Human, sorry.
Well, because this bit in the castle with these montages and stuff, I wonder, is there a shitload of stuff that got cut?
I imagine so, yeah.
Because I can't...
Because, I will say, up until the point of that I've read, they've only really dropped one major scene from the film, which is where they kind of like have a bit of a brawl with some giants in a bar. So I imagine if any of the cutting is happening, it's happening towards the end here.
Because this seems like this is where it could get meditative, because the idea of her losing her identity and her memory, and at the same time you've got Haggard going, no, don't you mess with me, you know who you are, and she's like, oh, freaky old gap man. Like, there's loads of potential here, but it's them just kind of dicking around.
They're not even prisoners. It's not like you've come to try and trick me, but I'm on to, there's something up with you, magic-y freaks.
You may come and go as you please. Alright, bye.
I guess I'll just be moody about in the house. Or whatever. But how do we get to... There's some kind of riddle to solve about a clock and all that bullshit. Like,
it's the cat. He has this kind of mysterious, this enigmatic moment. That's cats, guys. We're bastards, so we're not going to tell you anything, but here's a clue.
And he's like, rawr, purr, purr.
And then one of the weirdest scenes that I don't know if I like it or not, but at least I'm looking in a special basement room, and the whole it becomes like an episode of Nightmare where they've got to do a weird challenge video game.
It's like a cross between Nightmare and the old like 70s Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo.
Well, the thing is, they're in the spooky basement and they're chatting to what I'm going to describe as part of a skeleton on top of a fireplace with a metal crown who laughs at everything.
The skeleton is fucking brilliant.
Yes.
And was the last thing, I think, in this film that piqued my interest. Because I think at this point I'd actually got into another room and was just letting the film play and listening to it. Because I didn't want to fucking look at it anymore for a start.
Abby had got into a coma by this point.
But I heard the skeleton suddenly talk and I thought, oh, this actually sounds interesting. And the skeleton was hilarious because he was
a bit of a card, wasn't he?
And he was a prick. And he was enough of an alcoholic that he would drink an empty bottle and go, oh, that's the real stuff. And he was voiced by René Auberjonois, who was Odo from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And also Father Mulcahy in the original movie of MASH.
Right on.
And I was going to say from earlier on, like, this is the other character that kind of sounds like they belong.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you could tell he was having such a good time playing.
Well, it's the fantasy film, or like it's the kind of quintessential trickster fantasy challenge. It's like it's a bit arbitrary in the case of this, but it's got that classic thing. Okay, the trick basically is an alcoholic fireplace skeleton, and he wants wine. And so they basically go, I couldn't find the wine in water. And then Schmendrick's like, I got this. I've fucked up everything else, but this time I'm not going to rely on magic. I'm going to pretend, I'm going to use the trickery of magic, but not actually do any magic.
Yeah.
Drink the bottle of water and go, oh, I've treated it to wine because I'm like Jesus. But it's shit. No, it's not a very good wine. And then obviously this embodied skeleton. I mean, the skeleton doesn't have eyes, but it doesn't have anything. How can it? Why does it want wine? It hasn't got a body.
Because he remembers.
Yeah, but once again, this is another scene where you can see that the novel it's based on is a satire or a pastiche of fantasy. Because the skeleton, I don't remember any of his lines specifically, but I'm pretty sure some of the stuff he says almost suggests that he's there because the plot requires him to be.
Yes.
But that he's not going to tell them anything because he's a dick and he just wants the wine. And again, that could have been funny. That could have been funny and engaging if they'd made the most of that with that scene and also put that in the entire film. But it's almost like they took what is a satire or whatever, a fantasy novel, fantasy stories, and tried to just turn it into a fantasy story, like, and take out all the self-awareness.
Like, it's like someone played Dungeons and Dragons and thought, oh, it's a nice idea as a kid. Let's just string them together and just shoot down a pitch.
It's like remaking Police Squad as a serious drama.
Yeah, I know.
A serious procedural drama.
Well, fuck it. The upshot is the stupid drunk skeleton who can't see, but is like, oh, I do want the wine, don't throw it away. There's nothing in the bottle, obviously, but it can't see, or whatever. So it thinks it's drinking the wine.
With everyone else.
It's like a kind of placebo effect wine trick. And it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter. In a sense, to the skeleton it is real because it's unlocked a memory of his life.
Dead anyway.
And he's enough of an alky, and they basically get all the information they need off of him. The problem is, guys, for some reason, Fireplace Skeleton can see that the woman who they suddenly talk to is a unicorn. And he's like, he sets off the unicorn alarms, and like, unicorn!
You just remind me of fucking Super Mario Brothers. Plumber alert.
But they had enough to go through the clock. What do you mean go through a clock? It's a clock. Mate, it's just an illusion, it's about a metaphor about time and shit. Like, what?
We're not
What is
doing
a clock?
right though, because that's far too interesting. Get in there.
Just walk through the clock. What? Just walk through the clock. Jesus, give me the wine. You know, like, but they go through the clock and find the Red Bull, and it gives them wings, and then they have a fight or something. Like, what the hell? Like, they just sort of find the bull.
That sums it up so perfectly as well, and then they have a fighter from it.
Like, what is the Red Bull doing? What's the Red Bull's motivation? Is it just pure magic? Does it, like, want to fuck other Red Bulls, or, like...
Well, the Red Bull is controlled by Haggard, so it's just an extension of him, really.
I thought there was going to be some kind of Tempest thing going on, where the bull was Haggard, or his son was Haggard, and it just wasn't, and I was really disappointed.
Or it was like, I don't know, it could have been like a metaphor for his lust for entertainment. Like, the whole thing with Haggard's kind of interesting because he's a man who has had he's like a king, so he's had everything, but he's so bored with life.
You say seems interesting.
It could be. It had the potential. And it could have been the bull could have been a metaphor. It's not really clear. It's just a red, shiny bull that chases unicorns until they get the idea to use their horn and fight back.
Also, she fights back. And
she doesn't. She just sort of looks at him funny.
She intimidates him enough that all the other cons run. All the other
corns come out of the cornfield.
All the other unicorns leave the sea.
Well, for some reason, they get onto the beach anyway to have this big fight. The unicorn's scared out of the bull's lair. She's about to be chased into the sea, and the other characters all stand around. The evil king's up in his castle watching over. He's kind of onto her being a unicorn and has had a confrontation with the young woman as well. So there was a bit of interest. No, there wasn't. But they had a scene between Haggard and